What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel, the Tetragrammaton channel. For y'all that don't know what Tetragrammaton is, it's the 4-letter Hebrew name of Yahweh, the name of God. Pretty dope. This morning, God reminded me of something pretty cool that happened last summer, around July 2019, end of July. And I'm going to share that with you today. Any other coffee drinkers out there? Oh, it's reasonably early morning. I'm so used to waking up late because of this COVID situation. And yeah, it is Sunday today, so anyways, just need a couple sips. Okay, so it's July in the summer 2019, and it's I think it's around 11 at night, or somewhere between 11 at night and 1 p.m. in the morning, and I'm standing out in the balcony. I'm well maturing into this new thing and just really happy that I've been blessed to become a Christian. And but there's a lot of turmoil, there's a lot of struggles, and I'm not going to get into the details of that, but as I'm looking at the sky, sometimes I like to just look at the sky, especially if it's a clear sky without a moon and without clouds, and we have a pretty nice view from our balcony. Then you can see many beautiful stars. And I'm sort of contemplating, thinking like, you know, how wonderful that we have these things like galaxies and huge stars and all these wonderful things, and like a human being, the sentience that recognizes the poetic beauty of it all. Surely God himself must be like, this is exactly why I create beings, so they can marvel at the poetic beauty that is so transient at times. How can you capture this knowledge? How can you always be there? And the experience of just being at awe. And then guess what? Something really weird happens. I'm looking up and bam! Almost like a lightning, right? I see a white, almost like a white ribbon of light, and it comes down almost like the speed of lightning, like that. And again, I'm sort of led to pay attention to the fact that it's not entirely straight, this thing. It's sort of got a little wobble to it, like a little, almost like, that's why it's reminiscent of a ribbon, like somebody taking, you know, like those gymnasts that spin the ribbon around. Sometimes when they're, it's got kind of like that kind of thing to it. And it's momentarily bright, and it's almost like a piece of lightning. And it feels like it's no further than, say, 10 yards away in the sky and a little bit above me, 10, 20 yards away. And this is where it gets really strange as well. I mean, from one to the other, one seems like supernatural, multidimensional, right? But then here it gets even stranger. Shortly after, now this I can, you know, I had people visiting at the time, and they can technically attest to it as well, just not in this video. But shortly after that light came up, I hear in the distance a helicopter And it's getting louder and louder. And I swear it's coming from behind our balcony, behind our apartments. And it gets louder and louder. And then I look straight up and it flies right above my head, low altitude. And then it goes in the direction of where I saw the line. And it's a Sikorsky S-92. It's I know this because I used to travel on helicopters to go out on oil platforms. And it's a Sikorsky S-92, right, flying low altitude overpass where we are, towards the line, which is bizarre. Like, what the heck? And they never fly that low here, and they certainly have no business flying that close to our apartments late at night. It's not a medical emergency or nothing like that. They never fly the S-92s for medical emergencies. So just really weird. It's almost like pure conspiracy theory, man, like black helicopter stuff, you know? But check this out. So I have this vision, and it's this, not vision, it's, well, it's not, is it a vision if it's like actually shown to you? Like, or is it only a vision if it's in your head, right? But later in the year, or like just at the beginning of January 2020, as I'm really starting to get a little bit more into learning about the Bible, I start reading. I go online, and I'm somehow really interested in this 144,000 that a lot of people talk about, the people that are sealed to not be subject to the certain type of wraths that are to come. And I just happened to grab a blue highlighter, and I highlight the passages. I'm looking at a YouTube video where they outline like 4 different places in the Bible where they're talked about. It might be 4, it might be 5, or something like that. And in Revelation, chapter 14, I'm using this blue highlighter now to highlight the verses that are outlined in this video about the 144,000. And as I'm highlighting, again, something is peeking, something is coming into my head and saying, pay attention now. And as I highlight, the shape of the highlight is exactly the shape of the light that I saw a good six months previous to highlighting the Bible. And it's another one of those like, okay, what can you not do? You know, how does he do these things, you know? And it defies logic, entirely defies logic. But it's amazing, right? And I got the chills, of course. What's really cool is that all this time, all these weird things were happening. And I don't have a family that's very receptive to religious talk, unfortunately. You know, they don't like to hear it at all. They're just like, to each their own, I'll find my own, don't bother me, you know, that type of thing. Too smart for that type of tribe, you know, which is unfortunate. But I kept thinking, like, there's just so much weird stuff. Like, wouldn't other, like, believers want to hear something? Wouldn't they want something ratified, you know? And many out there are like hardcore, they're always reading the Bible, they've dedicated everything in their lives, and maybe they're not even, and they're just thinking, man, it'd be so dope to see something, you know? And then you have me, who spent 10 years in a row dissing on Christians, just completely like, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then I'm just graced with one thing after the other, and it's like, you know, and I don't know what to make of it. So hopefully these videos go out and just, you know, are an affirmation to everybody's faith path, you know. I'd like to add another thing. A lot of YouTubers inspired me during that time. They're like, hey, you know, we've always kind of grown up hearing like, don't test God, don't ask God to like flex his miraculous powers in front of you. He doesn't like that, you know. He doesn't like you saying, I can't believe until I've seen something strange, you know. All due respect to those teachings and those views, but I saw a bunch of YouTubers talk about like how you could actually really like, you know, go through a period of fasting and praying, and then you might even, or maybe you've gone on like a mission trip and you've done really good things, or maybe you've had a period of a few months where you've donated to a really good Christian cause or something like that, you know, sacrificed. And these people are also like they've prayed to be shown something in a dream or something like that, but with all due respect, like it's not conditional. If I don't see anything, it's fine, you know, just let's see what happens type of thing. And weird enough, I did the same. I just thought, hey, how audacious. I did the same. I was like, hey, God, this is a really weird journey, and sometimes you show me weird things, but can you like maybe put together a little thing in a dream to sort of maybe give me something, tell me something you want me to do or something like that, you know? And guess what? 2 nights after I had a crazy dream, but it's so personal, but you know you're there. Let me tell you, when you have one of these dreams, it's not like, oh, it's a really funny dream. It's not like that. The only way to say it is that, quote unquote, as I saw another guy explain it once on an interview, oh, the children of God know, and there's nothing more you can say about it. You just know that you're there, and it ain't nothing normal about it. You know, these dreams. Anyways, so maybe you can try the same. I mean, it says, everybody says that in those days, right? Like, as we kind of notice that something is not packaged right in this world, it seems to be a little jittery, right? And the skeptic might say it's always been jittery, it's back and forth, and if you torture the data, you'll see anything, right? You can create a pattern of weird stuff out of anything. Fair enough. But also, if you look at it from another point of view, it's clear that we're going through major paradigm shifts. There's no doubt about that. And then if you incorporate prophetic interpretations from the Bible, well, then there's good reason to get a little skeptical about the standard package of explanation. Oh, that's all I'm going to say. Anyhow, and it says, in those days, His Spirit will be poured out into the people, and the young will be shown visions, and the old will be shown dreams. Right? Now, make of that what you will, meditate upon it, pray about it, and whatnot, but ask if you can be shown some kind of dream. Who knows? I'm not trying to lead you astray or anything like that. I'm not telling you anything like that. Be mature about it, and make sure it's non-conditional. But when it happens, hang on to your pants, because it's pretty insane, man. Alright? I just thought it sounded like a cool thing to name a channel after.